All right, welcome back to another game of 80s Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator at the Clark & Addison Gaming Company. And in this game, we are continuing our 1986 World Series using J Thomas Hetrick's game, 80s Baseball. And we have a tied series, 2-2. And it will be one more game here in Boston. So it will be Boston hosting New York at Fenway Park. And let's get right to this one. We got all of our ratings done. It will be Dwight Gooden on the mound for New York and Bruce Hurst, the lefty, for Boston. So Dykstra, Tuffle, and Hernandez will be leading off in the first. A 9 is going to be some sort of a hit, and a 7 for Len Dykstra will be a single. So base knock to start the game off of Bruce Hurst for Lenny Dykstra. Dykstra at first, he's a 3 to steal. Let's go ahead and try to set the tone here with a stolen base. So you can see here on our steal of second, a 3 is going to be safe, 10 to 72. So it's a 42, and he's going to be in there safely. So man in scoring position for Tim Tuffle. Let's go ahead and bunt with him. Tuffle, not a great player, but maybe he can get him over with a bunt. Where is that? Okay, sack bunts here. Again, just a single roll, 1 to 100. 89 is between 37 and 100, so that's a successful sacrifice as Tim Tuffle gives himself up to get a runner to third base with 1 out. And that'll bring up Keith Hernandez with 1 down and a runner at third. Just needs a fly ball here, which I think he's going to get. A 78 is an out. 94, that's going to be a strikeout though. So it's into a strikeout range. If you want to know how to play the game, Kurt Berglund has a good introduction to the game. I also talk about gameplay and like how things are going to go down in the first video of this 1986 World Series. Gary Carter to the plate with 2 down and a man at third. This is going to be another out. 53 for Carter is going to be a fly ball. That goes out to a fly ball to 30 is going to be a left field, and that's caught for the third out. So New York threatens, puts a runner at third with 1 out, but they can't get him home as we get a strikeout and a fly out from Hernandez and Carter. Good job by Bruce Hurst to get out of a situation in the first. Brings up Wade Boggs, Barrett, and Buckner, the Killer Bees, for Boston in the bottom of the first. So face off against Doc Gooden. Gooden with a terrific game in his first game. He squared off with Roger Clemens. Went 9 innings, didn't get the win. 9 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He did not get the win, though. This game went into the 11th inning. 2-run homer from the strawman, Darryl Strawberry, gave New York the win in Game 1. Terrific game. Both starters, Clemens and Gooden, both went 9 innings, and neither figured into the win. So go back and watch that game. It was really good. First up is Wade Boggs, a 52, just into the out range, I guess. 67 for Boggs will be a flyout. Nothing strange on the flyout, so that's going to be hit out to center field. That's out number 1. Brings up Marty Barrett to the plate. Barrett is going to make an out as well. 96 will be a strikeout. So 2 quick ones for Doc Gooden, but he's going to give up a hit here. A 78 to Billy Buckner. 78 is going to be a double. So that one ripped by Buckner. A 97 on a double is no error chance. So he's going to be standing at second base for Jim Rice, who's had a really good series here. He's going to hit another one. Rice with the 79, that will be a double as well. So that's going to be a run scoring double. As the runner comes in on the 2-bagger, let's see if there's an error on the play. 71, no error. And Don Baylor to the plate. It's 1-0 now, Boston. Baylor, so 3 straight hits. And this will probably be a double as well, won't it? Nope. That's going to be a home run. Look at this guy. Don Baylor muscles up and hits one out to left field off of Doc Gooden, a hanging curveball. And that's going to be a 2-run homer for Don Baylor. And this one out to it already. 3-0 Boston here in the first inning. Dwight Evans to the plate. 51 is into what's called the BM/I. You can see that here. 50-51 is in this yellow. And so we're going to pull out. One of the things I haven't really pointed out is how color coordinated everything is. So the yellow you can see here on these pages has to do with this BMI and sort of the extra options. Batter miscues and injuries, that's what we're looking at. So I'm just going to roll again because I don't know if I moved that or not. A 42. 42 goes to the pitcher. So if the dice roll is a position, then roll again for the duration of games below. So we have an injury to the pitcher. And we roll again. And a 92. He is going to be not injured. So we've avoided an injury to the pitcher. They go out and check him out, and he is okay. So let's continue our at-bat with Dewey Evans. Evans, 37 is going to be an out, and that will be some sort of ground out. No error on the play, and the grounder goes to third. So we'll be 5-3 on the putout. All the run scoring happened with 2 outs, but Boston gets 3 in the bottom of the first off Doc Gooden. Kind of a rough inning for him, including an injury check. But he is okay. We head to the top of the second inning. 3-0 Boston. New York's going to send up Strawberry Knight, and Kevin Mitchell gets a start in this one. 55, that'll be an out. That's another ground ball. And that grounder will go to the shortstop. No play, or no problem at short for Spike Owen. Good shortstop, but he's had some error problems in this series. Kevin Mitchell, Ray Knight to the plate. 38 for Ray Knight is going to be an out as well. 50 will be a grounder. No error chance. And that ground ball is tapped right back to the pitcher. No problem for Bruce Hurst, who gets it over to first base for out number 2. Kevin Mitchell to the plate. Powerful right-handed hitter. And we see he is in the utility spot here. His RT is 11 overall, 14 against lefties, which is where he's hitting now. So we'll check him 14-1, 14 plus 1. So he is going to be a 1-28 for a hit. So that's a base hit for him. And a 91 could be pretty good. A hit and a 91 is going to be a home run as he hits a jack in his first hit of the series. Actually, his first start of the series. And he hits a solo bomb to get New York on the board. Nice job by Davey Johnson there, getting him in the lineup. Mookie Wilson to the plate. Wilson's been in and out of the series, starting some, coming off the bench a little bit. This is going to be a base knock. 66 is a single. And 2 straight hits for the Mets. Wilson is a 2 on his stealing. With 2 down, let's let Santana hit away. That's a good thing because he is going to get a hit here. Santana with an 80. 86 is a single. So let's see what happens on the base paths for a single. A 3. AR plus 2. And so that's going to be all runners get 2 bases. So he'll go to third base. And we have runners at the corners for Len Dykstra. Len Dykstra is a 7-3. Oh, that's not good. 1-20 for a base hit. 79 for Dykstra will be a fly out. And no funny business on the fly out. A fly out to 21 is going to be a left field. So he pops it up to left. And that's going to be the third out of the inning. But New York does threaten. They also get one home on the Kevin Mitchell home run. It's now 3-1 Boston over New York. We go to the bottom of the first, or the bottom of the second. It's Gedman, Henderson, and Spike Owen for the Red Sox. Rich Gedman, right-handed batting catcher. Against righties, he's a 12-1 against Doc Gooden. So much better against right-handers than lefties. 65, he's a left-handed hitting catcher. 65 is going to be an out, and a 30 will be a ground out. So this grounder goes to shortstop as he bounces one to short. No problem at short for Santana, and that'll bring up Dave Henderson. We have Henderson and Spike Owen playing for Seattle. 89, we got to check our pitcher. 89 for Dwight Gooden is into his strikeout range, and so that's going to be a K. Second strikeout of the day for Doc Gooden. 32, I believe is going to be an out. Spike Owen against righties is just a 5-3. That'll be a 1-18 for a hit. So this will be a ground out. And ground out 96. Oh, just misses the error chance. 93 will be a grounder to third. And that will be it. As Ray Knight makes a good throw across the diamond. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Doc Gooden against those Red Sox. And that'll bring up the top of the order in the top of the third for New York. It'll be Tuffle, Hernandez, and Carter. Tuffle is the first time up, hit a sacrifice bunt, and so he has not had an official at bat yet. 52 is going to be an out, and a 65, probably a ground out. Let's see. Tuffle, that's going to be a fly out. And that fly ball is not in the error range. 99 or 100 gets you a chance for an error. And so 77 on the out is, we had a fly out. 77 is going to be to right field. Sorry. Lost track of my place there. Brings up Keith Hernandez. A 90 for Hernandez. That's going to be in Bruce Hurst's K range. Just his second strikeout of the day. Hurst, not a huge strikeout pitcher, but 84 to 95 is a pretty good range. It brings up Gary Carter. Carter just an 8 against, he's a left-handed. 11 and a -2. So 11 and a -2, 1-22 for a hit. So this will be a hit. A 90 is probably a pretty good one, as Gary Carter, a 90 is going to be a home run. And so Gary Carter drives one deep into the night, and that brings the Mets one run closer. As 2 solo home runs in the game, one by Kevin Mitchell and now one by Gary Carter, put 2 runs on the board for the Mets. So Darryl Strawberry, the straw man to the plate, he's not good against lefties, just a 4 rating. That you can see that's the difference there. So Strawberry with a 9 rating overall, but he's +13 and +4 against lefties, +13 against righties. So the overall brings everything together and sort of evens the players out. But you can see playing the splits gives you a little bit truer representation of each player. 45 is going to be an out, and for Darryl Strawberry, 82 is going to be a strikeout. So he's gone down twice. That is strikeout number 3 for Bruce Hurst. But Hurst gives up another solo home run in the third, and it's now 3-2 Boston over New York. Bottom of the third inning. Back to the top of the order for Boston. It'll be Boggs, Barrett, and Buckner, the Killer Bees. We're going to get a hit here from Wade Boggs. 29 is going to be a single as he wraps one into left field. Let's check if there's an error on the play. 31, there is not. So we have Marty Barrett to the plate. Marty Barrett is 0 for 1. He struck out in his last at-bat. 76 is not going to be a strikeout. It's going to be hit on the ground. And it is a fielder's choice. So this runner is going to move up. And it will be hit to the first baseman. So no play except to take it to first base. And that will be Keith Hernandez taking the ball to first base. Didn't have a play at second, so Boggs is the second with one out. 64 for Billy Buckner is going to be an out. This will be a grounder. And nothing strange happens. It's just a forced play. So the runner will move up again to third base, and the bouncer goes to second. So 4-3 on the putout. Runner advances. Oh, that's not true. He does not advance. He's going to stay at second base. So second or third base, the batter is out and the runner's hold. So 2 down, runner at second base, and a 95 against Doc Gooden is just into the walk range. So that'll put runners at the corners as Jim Rice takes a walk. And Don Baylor to the plate, another hit for Baylor. 38 is going to be a single. And that'll be an RBI single, I believe. Let's see what happens with the runners. 69 on a single says ERFO. Okay. So let's get our glossary out just so we know what's happening here. All right, ERF0, error. Roll dice, use the team chart. The nearest outfielder commits the error. All runners advance 2 bases. So we're going to roll our error dice. It is an error on the play, so I'm not going to roll off of this. I'm just going to roll here and see who the nearest outfielder is. 009. So that's between the pitcher and the catcher. The nearest outfielder is our left fielder. So we're going to get an error on the left fielder. We had a single with an error. I'm inclined to give that error here, so he advances on the E7. All runners are going to advance 2 bases on the E7. That means this guy comes in to score. That's unearned. And so I'm going to give the batter an extra base on the error. So he takes second base on the error. I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to be, but that's how we're going to go. All right, so it is now 4-2 on that error, the error to the left fielder, Mookie Wilson. Costly as it brings in this runner from second base. Runner's now at first and third with 2 down. This is another base hit. This goes to Dewey Evans. Evans, a 47 on a hit is going to be a single. So we'll check our chart again to see what happens on the single. 20 is all runners advance 2 bases. So he's going to score, and he's going to score. That's a 2-run single for Dwight Evans, and it is now 6-2. Couple of 3 spots in this one for Boston. As we're in the bottom of the third, and Doc Gooden having a hard time getting out of this third inning. 85, though, is going to be a strikeout. Yes. So that will end the inning, but not before Boston puts 3 more on the board. Only... well, I don't even know if any of those are earned at this point. I don't think any of those are earned, so just 3 runs. earned for Doc Gooden so far. Okay, so Ray Knight to the plates for New York. It'll be Knight, Mitchell, and Mookie Wilson. Base hit, 91 for Ray Knight. That could be a big one. 91 is right at the top of his double range. He just misses a triple, and he's going to wind up at second base. Let's see if there's any error on the play. 49 is no error on the play. So Kevin Mitchell to the plate. He hit a solo home run in his first at-bat. He's going to fly out here, I believe he will, as he gets under this one. And a 37. That's a fly out with the runners holding. And a fly out to 14 is actually just out to the left fielder. So the runner at second base is going to hold. And that brings up Mookie Wilson to the plate. Wilson with a base knock here. 58 is going to be a single. And let's see what the play is on the single. 22 is all runners get 2 bases. So this guy's going to score from second base. And that's an RBI single for Mookie Wilson. Santana to the plate. He had a single in his last at bat, but he's going to make an out here. 78 is going to be a fly out. And that fly out is a fly out, and the runners hold. So that's actually going to be a pop up to the second baseman. Definitely runners holding there. So Santana pops out. That brings up Lynn Dykstra. Dykstra against lefties is just a 7, so 40 is definitely not going to be a hit for him. And this will be a 38. So Dykstra with a grounder. He is 1 for 2, about to be 1 for 3. A grounder to 64. It tells me it's a double play, but with 2 outs, we don't need to do a double play. So we have a 74. 74 is to the shortstop. We'll just say 6-4 on the putout. And that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. But New York now 3 innings in a row with single runs. And they get one on the RBI single from Mookie Wilson. And it cuts the lead to 6-3. And we have the bottom of the order up for Boston. It'll be Henderson, Owen, and then back to the top of the order with Wade Boggs. Not a great game here for Doc Gooden. He's had a couple of 3-run innings. Much different than his first start. We get a 35 to Henderson. Henderson is a 10. So that's not going to be a hit. 48 for Henderson is a ground out. And that grounder will go to the catcher. So he taps one just right out in front of the plate. No problem there for the catcher, Carter. Excellent defender who gets his man at first. Spike Owen to the plate, 94 against Doc Gooden is going to be right at the top of his K range. And he gets him with a strikeout. So that takes us back to the top of the order with Wade Boggs. Boggs is 1 for 2. He had a single and a run scored in that last 3rd inning. 83 to Boggs is going to be, that's going to be an out, and a 48 is a grounder. 86 on the ground out, nothing strange there, and that ground ball goes to the catcher as well. So an 8 on a ground ball is a little tapper, jumped on by the catcher Carter, and that'll be 3 up, 3 down for Boston in the 4th. 6-3 is our score as we go to the top of the 5th inning. This is game 5. We are tied at 2 games apiece in this 1986 World Series. So following, at least overall, what happened in the actual series. This one, of course, went 7. Game 6 was unbelievable. And we'll see what happens in this one. We have a 100, and a 100 is going to be a walk. So Tim Tuffle aboard with a walk. And that will bring up Keith Hernandez. Hernandez 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Youch. 79 is not going to be a strikeout. But he does make an out. That's going to be a fly out. And the runners will hold. And that is a fly ball to left field. As he pops it up to left. No problem in left field for Jim Rice. Brings up Gary Carter, the kid, with a solo homer in his last at-bat. 24 is a chance here. 11 minus 2, 1 to 22 is a hit. So this is going to be an out. And a 9 on an out. That'll be a grounder. 47 says ground out plus 1. So that's going to be fielder's choice. The runner is going to advance on the fielder's choice. And an 82 is a grounder to third. So a little tapper down the line. The only play is going to be to first base, as the third baseman Boggs makes a good throw. The runner will advance to second. So there's one in scoring position with 2 outs. And that brings up Darryl Strawberry. Strawberry over 2, struck out in his last at-bat. 67 is not going to be a strikeout. He does get wood on it. But actually, he doesn't. 75 is going to be a strikeout. So he strikes out the 2 at-bats in a row. And the Metropolitans strand 1 at second base. It's still 6-3. The Mets need to make a move here. And Darryl Strawberry goes out for the 5th. Darryl Strawberry, Dwight Gooden. He'll face off against the middle of the order, Marty Barrett, Bill Buckner, and Jim Rice. The 23 is going to be a hit, and a 100. That could be real trouble. So Barrett, 100 on a hit is going to be a home run. And look at that. Marty Barrett goes yard. I believe that's his second home run of the series, but I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. I played one game before I got any of this going, so he could have hit a home run then. But Barrett with the solo home run makes it now 7-3. Brings up Bill Buckner to the plate. Buckner is going to walk. And things might be slipping a little for Doc Gooden. Let's see if he can get out of this. Jim Rice to the plate. 38 for Jim Rice. Rice is 1 for 1 with a double, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. He's had the lion's share of the offense here. So Rice and Baylor. 38 is going to be a ground ball. And let's see if they can turn 2. 55 on a ground out is going to be a fielder's choice. So this runner here will move up. And the ground out goes to the second baseman. So the only play is to first. And we have 1 out in the inning. A runner at second and 1 already in for Boston. 93 off of Doc Gooden is going to be a strikeout. So Don Baylor goes down via the K for the first time. He's now 2 for 2 with a couple runs scored and 2 RBIs. Speaking of 2 RBIs, Dwight Evans had a 2 RBI single in his last at bat. He is going to make an out here. 48 to Evans is a fly ball. And that fly out with 2 outs is going to end the inning. That goes out to right field. And that's all she wrote in the 5th. But Boston does tack on. They now lead 7-3. And going out for another inning of work is Bruce Hurst. Hurst can go 9 innings for his stamina. And it's going to be the middle bottom of the order, Knight, Mitchell, and Wilson, who have actually produced quite well for the Mets in this game. Let's see if they can continue to do so. Ray Knight with a 74 here is going to be a flyout. And that's a flyout to a 100. So we have an error chance here. 99 or 100 on a flyout is an ERF. ERF says error. Roll the dice and use the team error chart. The nearest outfielder commits the error. All runners advance 2 bases. So we have a flyout. And let's roll here. 83 is somewhere over here, so the last outfielder is the right fielder. So that's going to be an error on Dwight Evans. So we will say, I'm going to give him second base because I've been doing that. So E9 on the error. Now we have a runner at second base. Nobody was on base, so nobody could move up 2 bases. And we get Kevin Mitchell to the plate. Mitchell 1 for 2 with a homer. 27, possible hit. He's a 14 plus 1. So 1 to 28 is going to be a hit. So he does have a hit. A 66 is going to be a double. So a 2-bagger for Kevin Mitchell, as he's got a homer and a double. This will be 2 RBIs for him. 22 on a double is all runners advance 2 bases, so no issues there. And an RBI 2-bagger for Kevin Mitchell brings the Mets within 3, so it's now 7 to 4. Mookie Wilson to the plate. This will be an out, I believe. Let's see. Mookie Wilson, the 98 is going to be a strikeout as Hurst comes back and gets the first out of the inning. Man at second base with 1 down. 52, we just avoid the miscues and injuries. But Rafael Santana to the plate. 52, a 20 is going to be a ground out. A 100 on a ground out is an error chance. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll for the error. And 1 to 92, it'll be an error on the Bo Sox. 65 will be an error. And that error will go to the second baseman. So the second baseman is Marty Barrett. He's going to make the error. So we'll say E4. And on a ground out, it's a 1-base error. So he'll move up to third. We have runners at first and third with 1 out. And Lynn Dykstra coming to the plate. This will be a bouncer from Dykstra. I think 86. Nope, that will be a strikeout, actually. So big time strikeout there from Bruce Hurst. 86 was a strikeout. So Tim Teufel, last chance for New York. They got 1 in, but they got 2 on the pond right now. 37 for Tim Teufel is a grounder. And that will be a ground out to the shortstop. So we'll go 6-3 on the putout. And that's going to be all for the 6th inning. So the Mets do get 1 back. It's now 7 to 4 in this game number 5. The series tied at 2. Boston looking to take a hold of this series before they go back to New York. All right, Richie Gedman to the plate. Gedman is 0 for 2, struck out his last at bat. 77 for Gedman is going to be a fly ball. And that is no error on the play. And that fly ball goes to left field as he pops one out to left field. No problem in left for Mookie Wilson, who ranges over and makes the play. Dave Henderson to the plate. Henderson 0 for 2. He tapped out to the catcher his last time up. 22 is possibility. 10 minus 3. 10 minus 3 is a 1 to 21 for a hit. So no hit there. 0-6. That'll be a grounder. And that ground ball is no error on the play. And it's hit out to the shortstop. 3 bounces to short. And he gets his man by a step. Brings up Spike Owen. 62 for Owen is going to be an out. Another grounder. As Gooden bouncing back here in the 6th inning. 23 will be just your regular old ground out. And that's going to go to second base. So 3 up, 3 down inning for Doc. And that shuts down the Boston offense in the 6th. It's 7 to 4. Boston over New York. New York looking for some offense here against Bruce Hurst, who's been pretty good, giving up a smattering of runs. This one, an unearned run, so only 3 earned runs. Keith Hernandez, Gary Carter, Darryl Strawberry to the plate. Hernandez is 0 for the day. He's got 2 strikeouts. He flew out in his last at-bat, but he's going to get a base hit here, I believe. So 15 plus 2 is a 1 to 29. That will be a hit, and an 88 is a pretty good one for Keith Hernandez. 88 is going to be a double. So Hernandez laces one into the gap. That's his first hit of the day. 56 on a double is no extra anything. course, I lost a die there, but we got it back. Gary Carter to the plates. He's 1 for 3 with a solo homer. 89 is probably not going to be good for him. It will not. He's going to strike out. That will be his first strikeout of the day. He's now 1 for 4. And speaking of strikeouts, Darryl Strawberry's got 2 of them as he stands in. A 93 means that he's going to have the old hat trick. So back-to-back strikeouts for Bruce Hurst with a man in scoring position. Brings up Ray Knight. Ray Knight's had a good day. He's been on a couple of times, has a double, 2 runs scored. 60 is going to be an out, though, as he bounces one. And that will be bounced to the shortstop. And a 35, let's see. That's just going to be a force out at first, so we'll go 6-3 on the putout. And that will end the inning. So New York strands a runner in scoring position yet again. And we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is 7-4, Boston over New York. Going back out for the 7th inning is going to be Doc Gooden. It'll be Kevin Mitchell, Mookie Wilson, and Rafael Santana. An 88 is into Doc's strikeout range, so he's got a strikeout here for Wade Boggs. Boggs' first strikeout of the day is just 1 for 4 today. Marty Barrett against a righty is an 11. 11 minus 2 is 1 to 22 for a hit. So this is a 24. No hit on the play. And Marty Barrett with a 73. That'll be a fly out. And that fly ball is no error. And it goes to left field. So fly out to left for Marty Barrett. He had a solo homer in his last at bat. He's now 1 for 4 on the day. Speaking of one hit, Bill Buckner 1 for 2. He walked his last time up. But this time he is going to go down on a vicious heater as Doc Gooden, with bookend strikeouts in the inning, 1, 2, 3 goes Boston in the 7th. Doc starting to look strong. And we go to the 8th inning. It's 7-4. Bruce Hurst going out for another inning. He can go 9 for his stamina. So both pitchers, just whenever we want to take them out, that's when they need to go out. He'll face the bottom of the order, Mitchell, Wilson, and Santana. 81 is not into Hurst's K range, so this will be an out. 49 for Kevin Mitchell will be a grounder. And that ground out is going to go a little tapper in front of the plate. A little bit down the first base line as Gedman makes a nice move on it and throws him out at first. Brings out Mookie Wilson to the plate. 26 for Wilson. Against a lefty, he is going to be a 13. So a 13-0, 1 to 25. It's a 26, so we're going to get an out here. This is, or off the outside, I guess. An 86. It'll be a grounder. 86 is no error on the play, and 26 will be a grounder to second base. Last chance here in the 8th inning is Rafael Santana. 85 to Santana is going to be a whiff. A big whiffa. And a 1-2-3 inning for Bruce Hurst in the 8th. As he and Boston take a 7-4 lead into the bottom of the 8th inning. Doc Gooden going out for the bottom of the 8th. If he gets in any trouble, we'll get him out. But he's facing Rice, Baylor, and Evans. He's going to get a bouncer here. And it will go to the shortstop. So no problem at short for Santana, who makes a good throw to first. And that'll bring up Don Baylor. Baylor 2 for 3 on the day with a 2-run homer, a single, 2 runs scored, and he struck out in his last at bat. 49 will be another out, and a 32 for Baylor will be a ground out. That grounder will go to the catcher. So a lot of tappers in front of the plate in this one. And nice play made by Gary Carter on the throw down to first base. Dwight Evans, last chance here in the 8th inning for Boston. He's 1 for 3 with a 2-run single. He's going to get another hit here, a 13. Almost assuredly 11 minus 2. I'll just check it. A 1 to 22 is a hit. So 83 on a hit for Evans is... Uh-oh. He powers up. And 83 is going to be a bomb for Dewey Evans. Wow. So don't mess with him. He's now 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, a homer and a 2-run single. And that's going to make the score 8 to 4. As Rich Gedman stands in. He's 0 for 3. 42 is an out as he grounds one. He grounds that one out to second base on a 3-hopper. Taken at second base by Tim Tuffle. Good throw to first. But Doc Gooden gives up another run in the 8th. He's been tagged for 3, 6, 8 runs. It's now 8 to 4. Only 5 of those runs have been earned. I mean, I think every run here in this inning was unearned. And so we go to the top of the 9th inning. This is it. Bruce Hurst trying to finish this one out. He's got the last 3 batters, Dykstra, Tuffle, and Hernandez for the Mets. They're 3 outs away from a 2 or 3 games to 1 lead. So let's look at Lynn Dykstra. He, against lefties, he's just a 7 minus 3. So 7 minus 3 is a 1 to 20 for a hit. So that's definitely not in his hit range. A 94 is going to be a strikeout. So Bruce Hurst starts the 9th strong with a strikeout of Lenny Dykstra. Gets him on a curveball. Dykstra can't catch it. And that'll bring up Tim Tuffle. Tuffle 0 for 2. He does have a walk and a sacrifice. So those two not official. 81, not in the strikeout range, so this will be an out. That'll be a ground out. And that's going to go to the shortstop. So a little 2-hopper to short, 6-3, not 4. And that's going to be one more out left for Bruce Hurst as he's looking for a complete game win. Sox are up 8 to 4. Keith Hernandez is the last option here for the Mets. He is 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts and a double. Double his last at bat. He's going to get a hit here, and that's going to be just a base knock as he now is 2 for 5. Let's see if there's any funny business with an error. 97 on a single is no error. And so that brings up Gary Carter. Carter, the kid, is 1 for 4 with a solo bomb. A 94. That is into Bruce Hurst's strikeout range, and he ends this one in dramatic fashion with a strikeout of Gary Carter as he gets him to swing over top of an off-speed pitch, and that will be all she wrote for the Mets. So Boston's going to win this one by a score of 8 to 4. And let me go ahead and do the totals, and I will come back and we'll finish this game off. All right, now we are finishing this one up. Boston now leads this series by a score of 3 to 2. It's an 8 to 4 victory for the Red Sox at home, and they go back to New York for 2 games. It's 4 runs on 10 hits and 1 error for New York, very costly error. And for Boston, it's 8 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors. For the Red Sox, winning pitcher is going to be Bruce Hurst. He goes 9 innings, 10 hits, 4 runs, only 3 earned. 1 walk and 11 strikeouts. Just a machine in this one. For Doc Gooden, he goes a complete game, 8 innings, 8 hits, 8 runs. Only 5 of those were earned. So I think everything here in the 3rd inning was unearned. But he did give up 3 home runs, so a 2-run shot and a couple of solo homers throughout the game. And 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, no hit by pitch. He faced just 34 batters. So, good game here, and both pitchers go the distance. It is now 3 to 2, Boston over New York in this series. Again, we're playing 80s Baseball is the name of the game. It is designed by J Thomas Hetrick. You can find, he's been on with, I want to say he's been on with Kurt Berlin did a sort of an introduction video to 80s Baseball. He's been on with Digital to Dice. He's been on with who else? Oh, the Saber at home group. He's been on there as well. So you can catch him on YouTube a little bit. Just look up 80s Baseball or J Thomas Hetrick, and you'll be able to find him there. He's got some interesting stories, very engaging guy, and loves baseball, has a really interesting relationship to the game, having lived overseas in Japan and some other places. So cool to hear his stories. And this game is very easy to play once you pick it up, and once you kind of get a hold of where things catch on as far as strikeouts and what is a hit and what's not a hit. So a few times a game, you're going to need to go back and make sure, okay, was that a hit or not, because it's in the 20s, so, or the low 20s, and you're not quite sure if that's going to be a hit or not. Otherwise, you know, if it's into the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, you know, for the most part, those are going to be outs. And if it's into the high 80s or the 90s, you know, it's going to be a strikeout or a walk. So it's kind of, you kind of get into the flow of things. And even with this glossary, he has a glossary of all the different, what do you call them? I don't know. They're different types of plays. So on the base runner advancement chart, you have all these different types of plays here that can happen. And so you have your glossary here that tells you everything that could happen on the play. So lots of different things going on in the game. You get a nice manual. The manual is really good at sort of laying out how to play the game. You get all of these extra different things. We're not playing with the pickoffs, but you could do that. There's a strange occurrences chart, which happens on a 98 to 100. So 50 to 51 leads you here. The strange occurrences is 98 to 100 on that 50 to 51. And then you got all kinds of like crazy things that can happen here. You can roll before the game to see if there's an outstanding start or not by the pitcher. So that's kind of an extra goodie there. There's a hit and run chart. This one, if you have a runner at third and the batter has a sacrifice fly on their chart, you can see here some of them have it and some don't. But if you have a sacrifice fly, you can roll against this chart and then see if it's a sac fly or not. That's sort of in lieu of doing the regular chart. So he's trying to hit a sacrifice fly. Optional pitchers rest for a long series or for a year. And then he does have Negro League seasons, so this is used for the Negro League seasons on this one. And you can still second, third, home. So everything that you would expect in a baseball game with lots of details. Lefty-righty splits for everybody, and even for the pitchers. So in the National League, we'll have to use pitchers again when we go back to New York. So this will come into play a little bit. And every team is rated. All their players are rated who got into the game. I don't know if this is every single player, but it looks like, you know, we got some bench players here all the way down to Dave Magadan and Stan Jefferson, John Gibbons. And then we got all of the pitchers for the Mets. So looks to me like everybody who is meaningful that got into a game is on the rosters. And yeah, so the game is really cool. Go check it out. I'll put the link down in the description. You can go to Thomas Hetrick's website and you can check it out. You can order right from the website. He sells them via PDF, just like I do. If you want to buy the dice, you don't have the D10 dice, you can do that. I'm using these D10s with the I don't know, it's got the 10s on it, right? So 90, 30, 50. But you could just as easily roll 2 D10s like this. Just designate one as the 10s place and one as the 1s place. You know, that becomes an 83 and a 53, etc. So you can do that also. I just like to have, it feels easier to read when I have that as like a 56. So I like that with the dice. I bought a bag of dice on Amazon for like 20 bucks, 15 bucks. And it's a huge bag of beans like this. And it just comes with all these different denominations of dice in different colors. I think there's 8 or 10 colors and different types of dice. You can see there's all kinds of, this is 2 types of there's sort of a gold, and this is kind of a yellow, a black. You have purple, and it's a red D10. I mean a D8. No, D12. So it comes in 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 20. So those are all the denominations of dice that I got. And again, you can pick that up for like 15, 20 bucks on Amazon. And once you do that, you have sort of access to all these newer games that are using D10s and D12s and D8s and all that kind of stuff, D20s. I like to design with those, and even like to use these little D4s as markers. They can point to things. They can point this way, and you can kind of move them along. They're easy to pick up. So I like to use these little D4s as markers. Occasionally they come into play in a game, but just a little pro tip for you there. There are all kinds of places to buy dice. Amazon obviously is an easy one, but if you don't like them, you can buy dice in lots of different places. There are specialty shops online. There might be a specialty shop in your neighborhood or near you, in the city near you. So go check that out. It's worth investing in a good bag of dice, especially if you're playing more modern games that don't just use D6s. I think that's it from here. If you haven't subscribed, click on subscribe and you'll be notified of new videos when I post them. Usually it's 1 or 2 a week, but here with this series, I've been doing multiple videos every week. No reason why I shouldn't at this point be able to finish this series out maybe tomorrow, or we got 2 games left and the Red Sox only have to win one of those 2. New York's got to win them both, and we'll see how this plays out. The actual series went 7 games, so it's possible this one could also go 7. The Rocket goes for the World Series win in Game 6, and we'll see if he can get that done. It's going to be Clemens against Bobby Ojeda, so we'll see. And then if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. That's a real easy way to support what I'm doing. And also, any designer that you know out there who has a game, one of the best ways that you can support them, encourage them, send them a little email, say, hey, I love the games, keep them coming. I really enjoy this about what you do, but also purchasing something. If you don't want to get personally involved with the designer, purchasing a game is one way to be an encouragement and to keep people in business. So just like anything in life, if you want that product or that company to stay in business, buy something from them. That's the only way that they can stay in business and justify doing what they're doing. Now, this hobby is a little bit different because many of us are giving stuff away. You know, this is not our livelihoods. If you're not APA or Strat, it's not your livelihood for the most part. So it's not going to make or break anyone, but it is, as a person who's a small designer, it is a great encouragement whenever you put so much time and effort into something and people go and buy it. So that's just a little pro tip for you there. If you like what someone is doing, you like play games, you like ASG, you like whatever, just go and buy something from them and commit to buying something from them a little bit each year. That way you can try to preserve them and keep them in the business. All right, I think that's it from here. Boston wins by a score of 8-4. They lead 3-2 in the series. The next game up is going to be Boston at New York, October 25th, 1986. We'll have the Rocket, Roger Clemens, on the mound against Bobby Ojeda, the lefty. And we'll see how this one comes out. I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.